So we are ready to make our Lichtenstein collages. You are going to get all of those printed papers back from last time, and you are going to get a few other supplies. So we are going to be collaging onto this white paper, and we're going to make it long for our landscape. And I'm going to start with kind of that sun shape at the bottom, and I know I'm also going to want some kind of land at the bottom. So this paper that you use that jelly print for is going to be our sun. You can use all of it. You can use part of it. Your sun can be a big circle. Your sun can be kind of a crescent of a circle. And I'm going to hold on to these scraps because I might find something for them. Underneath that sun, I think I'm going to make some kind of background. So maybe the sun is kind of coming up and I have this little bit of red behind it. So I'm going to make this red shape, maybe a little bit of a jagged line at the top. So I am not gluing anything right now. Just kind of doing a little bit of cutting and arranging. So these papers, this red one stretches side to side. Okay, so I've got that happening, and then I'm going to have the sun kind of peek up. I think down here I better do something too. So I could use these scraps. I could have sunshine coming out from the edges. How about here? I definitely want to make a cloud out of this paper. So I'm going to draw a cloud shape, kind of a bumpy line. And that cloud shape, I'm going to have it kind of be a flat bottom. And I'm going to cut that out. That's going to leave me with some scraps too. And I'm going to use all of these scraps as best as I can. Maybe up on top here, I have the sun. I'm going to have a cloud kind of coming in. Maybe I could make another cloud shape on the other side. I'm using these scraps. Just another bumpy line. This one I did not draw. If you feel like you got to draw that shape first, you can. Okay, so I've got the sky started. I've got the sun coming up. I've got some clouds that are going to kind of overlap here. Definitely need something down at the bottom on the sides of the sun. And I see that I have some papers left from my sun printing. Let's see if I can use these shapes for anything. I might like it, I might not. Yeah, I don't really care for that. I can't really see my sun. Something, what if I would slide this red down? I could do that and have some clouds. I'm kind of thinking I need something in here. So a lot of this is just brainstorming. I do have some of this printed paper left. What if I took a couple of these parts? Kind of looks like a hill starting. I might glue that on the sides. I just really want to make sure nothing is floating in this project. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue those two parts down. Hopefully I can get the glue bottle that works here. Of course I can't. Ugh, sometimes when that glue dries I just have to pick it off, start over. I'm still having a hard time with this glue. I'm going to put this on that side. This is going to be next. My glue is not coming out. Here's one that works. Third one's a charm. I'm going to glue that on the side. I'm going to slide this kind of behind those hills. Little bit of glue all over that. When we're collaging, we want to use the right amount of glue so it's not oozing out the sides of my paper. So I'm just making sure I'm not going to have any big spaces showing. That sun is going to cover those sides up really nice so I don't see any areas of white. So before I start the clouds, I'm thinking that I'm going to want a little bit of a space in here. And Roy Lichtenstein did use a lot of black in his artwork too. I'm actually going to outline this black shape of the hill or the sky that this is making. And I'm going to go over it a little bit and make it really nice and thick. too thick. Got to color that in. I don't want any of those white spots. I think I'm kind of ready to glue these clouds down. So I'm going to have them kind of take up the sky. Sometimes Roy Lichtenstein, when he put things on his projects, he left a little space around the shapes. So what I mean by that is when he did some outlining, he didn't go right next to the edge. He went a little bit away from the edge. I'm going to connect these all the way around with that shape. Cool. I still have lots of papers to use. I have these. And I was going to kind of have these be like rays of the sunshine coming through, but I might want them to go under these shapes. So I am doing this a little bit backwards. Maybe I shouldn't have glued those on quite yet. I'm going to have some sunshine rays. So I'm going to cut long, skinny rectangle type shapes. They could even be thicker or thinner. This one kind of started out as a triangle. And I'm going to cut it in half so it's a little bit skinnier. And like that sunshine ray, it's going to be skinny by the sun. So I'm going to kind of tuck that behind. I'm going to make it go in diagonal. I will glue that soon, but I wanted to make sure I could get them. Oh, I can't get that under the cloud. So I'm going to do a little problem solving. If that happens to you, you could trim and then connect it on the other side. So I'm still trying to keep that diagonal line. I think I might have to do that with other ones too. Cut these nice and thin. There's always a way to fix a problem when you're collaging. So my beautiful oops, I can still make it work. Some of you are probably thinking, whoa, Mrs. Cleary, those are going off the edge of the paper. That's okay. I'm going to go back and trim all that off eventually. So I'm keeping that diagonal line. And I still have these. I'm going to make some really skinny lines with these. So I'm going to keep collaging. I'm going to glue these things down, and I might even add a few more details. At this point, I have everything glued down. I did a little more outlining on the bottom by the sun in the hills. And now I'm going to flip this over just to kind of trim these loose ends off my paper. And I don't want to cut that background at all. So this kind of helps me to see where I should cut. There it is, my finished Roy Lichtenstein landscape. It's going to go right into the drying rack to dry.